You won't believe what kind of weapons humans have created just to outdo one another in the art of destruction. From ancient death machines to modern tools of annihilation, these aren't just weapons, they're monsters born from human minds. This is not just a list. This is a walk through history's darkest chapters, where genius met madness, and the result was devastation on a scale that still echoes through time. Today, we're diving deep into the top 10 deadliest weapons in all of history. Buckle up, because once we go down this path, there's no turning back. Imagine this. It's 15th century France. The age of chivalry is already fading, but knights in shining armor still roam the battlefields, confident in the protection their steel provides. They've faced arrows before, swords, fire. But today's different. The enemy rolls forward a monstrous machine, a Bombard Cannon. It's massive, crude, slow, but terrifying. You hear the growl of metal grinding against stone as they load it. A moment of silence. Then a deep, earth-shaking boom. The cannonball, the size of a boulder, sails through the air and smashes into a fortress wall, sending stone and bodies flying in every direction. Within hours, entire strongholds crumble. The age of castles is over. The age of gunpowder has begun. The bombard didn't just change warfare, it changed architecture, politics, and fear itself. Now let's fast forward 400 years. The air is thick with smoke. Mud cakes every surface. Soldiers crouch in filthy trenches as the sun rises on the Western Front. This is World War I, and death lurks around every corner. But nothing prepares these men for what comes next, the mechanical scream of the Maxim Gun. It's the world's first fully automatic machine gun, capable of firing 600 rounds per minute. That's 10 bullets every second, a relentless hail of metal that shreds anyone foolish enough to charge forward. Entire battalions rise from their trenches and are cut down within seconds. One soldier and one gun could hold back hundreds. It turned war into industrialized slaughter. And what's worse, other nations rushed to copy it. The world had found a way to mass-produce death. But let's go further back, to a time when fire itself was a weapon. On the dark, churning seas of the Byzantine Empire, enemy fleets once approached with confidence. But the Byzantines had a secret. Greek fire. A terrifying liquid substance that, once ignited, could not be extinguished, not even by water. As enemy ships drew near, bronze nozzles extended from the Byzantine ships like dragon heads, spewing fire that clung to wood, sails, and skin. Screams echoed across the sea as men leapt into the water, only to burn alive while floating. It wasn't just terrifying, it was psychological warfare. The formula was so secret it was lost to history, never rediscovered. Greek fire became legend. A medieval superweapon no one could stop and no one could understand. Meanwhile, in the windswept plains of Central Asia, a different kind of weapon was taking shape. Not a fire-breathing tube or a cannonball launcher. A bow. The Mongol composite bow. It was deceptively small, crafted from layers of horn, wood, and sinew, but in the hands of Genghis Khan's cavalry, it became the terror of the world. These warriors could ride at full gallop, twisting backward to fire behind them with stunning precision. Armor was useless. Distance meant nothing. Mongol archers could strike from hundreds of yards with devastating accuracy. They toppled empires, crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and never lost their edge. This wasn't just a bow. It was the backbone of the largest empire ever built by man, and it did so not by brute force, but by speed, precision, and psychological dominance. But no weapon in human history compares to what was unleashed in 1945. The sun rose over Hiroshima like any other day, until it didn't. At 8:15 a.m., a blinding flash split the sky, followed by an explosion so violent it turned steel into vapor. The atomic bomb, dropped by the Enola Gay, didn't just kill tens of thousands in seconds. It rewrote reality. Buildings disappeared. Rivers boiled. Shadows of people were burned into walls. Survivors walked like ghosts, skin hanging in strips, eyes melted shut. 3 days later, Nagasaki followed. And the message was clear: humanity had cracked the code to end itself. The bomb wasn't just deadly, it was apocalyptic. For the first time, we had invented a weapon capable of wiping out civilization. And instead of stopping there, we made more. Bigger ones. Deadlier ones. But sometimes the deadliest weapons are the simplest. Picture the trenches again. It's dawn. The gunfire has stopped. You hear a whistle. Then footsteps. Close combat. You grip your rifle, but at the end of it is a gleaming steel blade, the bayonet. This wasn't long-range war. This was personal. In the mud and blood of trench warfare, when ammunition ran dry and enemies were just meters away, the bayonet turned every soldier into a primal warrior. It was kill or be killed. No room for hesitation. And for the men who survived, the memory of plunging steel into another man's chest haunted them long after the war was over. Because this wasn't strategy. It was instinct. But what if your enemy wasn't a soldier at all? What if it was something you couldn't see? During medieval sieges, armies began flinging plague-infected corpses over city walls. Entire towns would fall, not to sword or fire, but to invisible killers. Fast forward to the 20th century. Japan's Unit 731. They bred fleas infected with the bubonic plague, loaded them into ceramic bombs, and dropped them over Chinese cities. Civilians began dying in agony, weeks, even months after the war had hit. Biological weapons didn't just kill, they tortured. They terrified. And they blurred the lines between warfare and genocide. Long after the fighting stopped, the sickness continued. No battlefield. No warning. Just death creeping through the streets. Now enter the most mass-produced killing tool of all time, the AK-47. Created by Mikhail Kalashnikov, it was built for simplicity, endurance, and raw power. It works in mud, in sand, underwater, in snow. It never jams. It never fails. You could bury it for a year, dig it up, and it would still fire. From civil wars to terrorist attacks, from liberation armies to brutal regimes, the AK has been everywhere. Over 100 million of them have been made. It's on flags, murals, even currency. It's not just a weapon, it's a symbol. And with that kind of reach, it has claimed more lives than any other firearm in human history. It's the rifle of the people, and sometimes, the last thing people ever see. But some weapons don't care about sides. They don't discriminate. They wait. Hidden beneath the soil. Silent. Deadly. Landmines. They're cheap. Easy to make. And terrifyingly effective. One soldier can plant hundreds in a day. But they don't disappear when the war ends. Decades later, children walking to school, farmers tending crops, civilians rebuilding homes. One step, one click, one explosion. In some countries, there are more landmines than people. These are weapons that keep on killing long after the bullets stop. Weapons that never forget. And finally, the one weapon more dangerous than them all. The human mind. Psychological warfare. During World War II, leaflets rained from the skies telling soldiers to surrender. Propaganda blared from loudspeakers in enemy languages, sowing doubt, fear, and confusion. In the Cold War, it escalated, brainwashing experiments, misinformation campaigns, and silent battles fought not with guns but with paranoia. The scariest part? It works. If you can control what someone thinks, you control their choices. Their beliefs. Their reality. No blood needs to be spilled. The most effective battle is the one fought without a single shot fired. So there you have it. 10 weapons. 10 faces of death. Some were loud and flashy. Others were quiet and invisible. But all of them changed the world. Each one a testament to how far humans will go to dominate, to survive, to win. We've built machines that level cities. We've engineered viruses to infect nations. We've bent fire and metal and minds to our will. But here's the real kicker. Each time we invent something more powerful, we think it's the ultimate weapon. And yet, history shows we just keep going. Bigger. Faster. Deadlier. maybe that's the scariest part of all. That we're not done yet. If this blew your mind or made you question our entire history, make sure you hit that like button and smash subscribe for more wild stories from the edge of science, war, and human madness. And drop a comment, which weapon do you think is the deadliest of all time? Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and remember, the most powerful weapon in history might be the one we haven't invented yet.